He'll give you a hand sign
now
too.
I can
He'll
see
give you a
it,
hand
too.
sign also.
Yeah.
I think we're
He'll
good.
signal you too.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We got a panel ready to go.
Keida. Yeah.
Hello, hello. Let's do that again. Happy Saturday afternoon, everyone. We've got a panel ready to go. I'd like to introduce Rebekah Keida, CMO and co-founder of Vala. And she will be talking to our panelists about how decentralized commerce can make Web3 great again. So round of applause, please.
Thanks so much, everyone. I'm very excited to be here with an amazing panelist. So I'm Rebekah, CMO and co-founder of Vala. So we're building the Web3 TikTok shop. And for this panel today, I'm very excited for our panelists to introduce ourselves because they are also bringing forth the next phase of onboarding the next billion people into crypto through commerce. So Pat, if you'll start and introduce yourself.
Hey, nice to meet you guys. I'm Pat Yu. I'm the co-founder of Mega Incubator, which is an incubator focused on payment infrastructures, consumer applications, and government relations on Ethereum network.
Yeah, no, my name's Razink. I've been in the space for about 8 years now, and originally I got into National Science Foundation research, and then I got this addiction to starting companies and built some loyalty infrastructure where I met Lin.
Yeah, my name is Lin Dai. I'm the CEO of Superlogic, and at Superlogic, we build a lot of blockchain infrastructure for major enterprise companies such as American Express and Warner Music Group. We're really excited to partner with Carter over at Spree. We just launched our new dApp, Bookit.com, that aggregates over 2 million merchants in travel, entertainment, retail, and accepting 3,000 different cryptocurrencies. So we actually have a little video if Rebekah can play it for everyone.
Let's play it because it's better to see it than just hear it. Amazing. I don't know how you guys feel, but I am like a points junkie. So when Lynn and I were talking about this earlier and last week, I was like, okay, I need this because it's like I have so much crypto, I have so many stables. Like, what do I do with it? I don't want to offboard it. It's a nightmare. So the first question, so this is going to be for Carter and Lynn. So stablecoins often get overlooked, right? But many people believe they're the key to real world usage. So I'm curious to know why stablecoins might be the critical infrastructure for crypto payments to bring on the next billion users into crypto.
No, yeah, 100%. As one of the co-founders of Spree, I think one of the pretty clear pain points that I've recognized is that merchants that are, servicing how many billion people today, they're not going to take your dog whiff hat or your bonk coin because it could easily go down 50% in a day or quicker. And so, stables, they're not sexy. You can't speculate on them, but you can use them as, what I've heard is a really good descriptor, a room temperature superconductor for commerce. And we see this within the traditional loyalty space. They're pegged to the dollar because that's the medium of exchange. And so I think in the next maybe 3 to 5 years, we're going to have the next billion people using stables because they use dollars, and it's just way easier for commerce.
Yeah, we deal with a lot of enterprise clients, right? Like if you go to like Marriott and say like, please accept the Trump coin, they're going to be like, how do we really deal with this? So what Carter and Spree team came up with is really genius, right? So basically any of your coin can instantly be swapped into a stable coin, which can facilitate actual transactions. And honestly, it's something that consumers can understand, right? To onboard the masses, we need the concept of purchase on or not on blockchain that really consumers can understand. They can understand purchasing to a USD denomination, and they understand rewards in the form of points, not something that fluctuates in value. So kind of what Spree has done is pretty incredible, and that allow us to really seamlessly convince 2 million plus merchants to kind of join this revolution.
I love this. Normally in crypto G-Gen world, we're like, not another points program, but this is a points program I can totally get behind. So the next question is, how do large merchants and institutions view crypto-based payments rails today?
Yeah, when I go, talk to our institutional and enterprise clients, I basically say like, hey, you already transact in digital currency. Your own points program is a digital currency. It's a centralized digital currency that doesn't really run on MasterCard and Visa rails. But by the way, like all merchants actually really are allergic to the idea they get charged like 2-3% every time they run a transaction on those rails. So I was like, would it have been great if you can accept cryptocurrency that you don't have to worry about what the input to the network is, the output is USD to you for your goods and services, right? Like so this is what like kind of the vision of Spree was, that really kind of enabled that seamless, like crypto in, USD out, and points to the consumer.
And Pat and I, you were talking about this idea that like loyalty points are basically crypto for normies. Right, they use this already. So this is not like, we don't have to reinvent anything. This is just like, hey, spend it like you normally would.
I agree with you. I think 10 years ago, we used to use Chase cards or Amex cards to churn points and kind of look for our free vacations. Recently, we've been working together with the Chinese government along with the Thai government for their introduction to kind of a larger, broader adoption for their citizens. They don't want speculation because of consumer safety, but they're willing to look at stablecoins, especially in the tourism bureaus, because it's very, very simple for you to convert those points that you would have from the tourism board directly into rewards that their local companies are able to utilize.
Incredible. So that leads me to my next question. So what do you see as the biggest catalyst that will bring more merchants and consumers into the space at scale? And is it reduced fees, improved user experience, or new revenue streams like loyalty programs?
Is it for me? Yeah. I think a lot of people think about reduced fees and speed, and I think these are things that everyone else is already going to solve. We have blobs, and we turned everything from $1 transaction fee to less than a penny already, right? We have a bunch of L2 networks that are kind of onboarding different global countries depending on the applications and the area of the industry that are in. But I think what we actually need right now is better consumer safety and regulation so that more institutional partners are actually willing to touch crypto. It's not hard for someone to get their head around stable coins, but right now the infrastructure isn't set up so that these mass merchants are also able to integrate very simply. It's very different when you're looking at hundreds of customers or thousands of customers versus millions of customers, especially when you're dealing with millions of merchants also. You need a very simple process so that any type of company can actually integrate those APIs and seamlessly use it for their own customer base.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard Robinhood CEOs doing some sort of stablecoin remittance over the weekends. And so, like, I think that's probably going to be one of the big onboarding components is in these like banks, these payment providing infrastructure partners, they're going to start adopting it because it is just that much better. At the volume they're processing fiat today, doing it at, you're saving 3%. That you would otherwise have paid, especially SMBs, like a $5 cup of coffee with the fixed 30-cent and 3% fees that they charge, that's like almost 8%. And mom and pop can't afford that.
Yeah, like speed and low transaction costs have been solved over the last couple of years, right? Blockchain have that, but like, why aren't there more mass adoption for kind of the pay use case? It's like you need a massive merchant network. And honestly, it wasn't until last November when kind of the 180 in US regulatory stance that opened up that door, right? We had rapid conversations with some of our biggest partner, one of our biggest partner in the travel space, the one company that like literally works with every top airline, hotel, like cruise lines. And we rapidly formed this partnership and launched this product together called Bookit.com that like wouldn't have been possible if there's so much regulatory scrutiny and uncertainty, right? Because these enterprise partners are not going to jump into the space without the idea that this is a, they're not going to get in trouble accepting crypto, right?
Yep. Yeah, and Lynn, I'd love for you to touch on too why you started with a travel use case, because I thought it was interesting talking to you earlier about how that applies.
Yeah, like as a blockchain crypto industry founder, it's like it's a tool I built for myself, right? I'm a points nerd. My Twitter handle is the points dai is my last name. So I nerd out on points all the time, and I was like, wouldn't it be great if we can actually build a travel product for everybody in the crypto industry to be able to like travel everywhere, earn 10 to 30% rewards back. And spend any token I have in my wallet, right? Like all my random tokens, can I just buy a flight or buy an iPhone with it, right? So this is kind of the tool, a marketplace I built for myself. But when we've been in stealth for a long time. We just came out. And we're showing Bookit.com to a lot of the other projects. So it's like kind of the validation is that everybody like loves this, right?
I mean, it's really incredible for everyone who's listening and watching this right now. Please go to bookit.com and play around. The interface is so simple. It's so easy to book a villa or a flight. You can use your dog with hat or whatever, and it converts immediately. It's very, very great interface. So check it out. So my next question is for Carter. So you have this term, it's Commerce DeFi, and I'm wondering, what does that mean, and how does it differ from more familiar forms of DeFi?
Yeah, I'd say thinking about Spree's kind of initial beachhead solution or problem is, it's hard to spend crypto, and so the solution is use some of the existing infrastructure to connect a wallet and sign a transaction, like the existing DeFi protocols that most of us degens are familiar with. But once you have some of these merchants within your ecosystem, you can do some really fascinating products on top of that. And so something like using liquidity to do on-chain factoring, for example, to allow for what traditionally is, this problem of long time to settle and then the fees, that's a clear solution. But also augmenting existing merchant adoption with these DeFi protocols like the Aave, like the Morpho, or a decentralized exchange across different borderless payments. Like there's tremendous opportunity in this kind of, we're familiar with the technology, but it's never been applied to a merchant side of commerce before. So Commerce DeFi kind of is the North Star of what Spree's building. We're building this for the future where, maybe your rewards points yields in the future, or maybe, your merchants don't just dump their dollars for fiat, they put it in and get productive with that asset.
Amazing. So my next question is for Lynn. So how can decentralized commerce unlock new opportunities for merchants, such as cross-loyalty rewards or offering more real-world experiences to token holders?
Yeah, just as a points nerd, we look a lot into this, and this is like I read points blogs for fun, right? So rewards points getting so big that U.S. banks alone, right, that issues rewards points have about 60-some plus $billion of unspent points on their balance sheet. So it's not free. Like they have to keep track of that. They're like legally obligated to keep track of that as a liability on their balance sheet. And it's like very little usage for consumers, right? So it's like very little amount of ecosystem you can spend your points on while they keep it as a liability. I think actually bringing everything on chain and have a DeFi component on it, it's beneficial for both kind of institutional players and the consumer, right? And obviously, if points or the future version of decentralized commerce using crypto rails becomes a thing, merchants stand to benefit the most. We're talking about today, the Visa, MasterCard duopoly takes like $4 trillion of fees a year and at a 50% margin because they charge the merchant like 3% or more. We're talking about on pure crypto rails, merchant can pay probably 0.75%. So it's a huge saving, not only for the coffee shops, right? So that's like clearly its benefit, but like we deal with enterprise partners. When we go to a Walmart, we're talking about saving them hundreds of billions of dollars. It's significant, right? So all merchants are excited about this.
That's huge. Yeah, so there's really product market fit here. So my last question is, why is this model more sustainable than purely speculative token incentives?
I think we've all seen over the past year, and all of us have kind of played our part inside of it, but meme coins are really fun. But when you work with market makers who don't have the best interest in consumers, you have listings people who may have allocations that they've bought in pre-sale, speculative tokens are really unsafe for the average retail customer. They don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, and this is kind of like a lottery that you're playing. When they see the marketing, they're assuming that these tokens are a 10-year hold instead of being something that's like maybe a 4-hour hold or a 6-hour hold. I think with stable coins, there's a lot more opportunity because with stables, you know what you're getting into. It's tied to the US dollar that you're already used to, which also allows you kind of think out of the box is that now that you have a token that's a lot more liquid for merchants compared to fiat, what can you do with that and what other ways can you produce yield in the interim that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do with US dollars?
Yeah, I'll double tap on that too. Thinking about these assets, it's totally player versus PvP we use in the space. It's individuals competing with individuals, but succinctly, commerce has the capability of increasing the entire ecosystem's market cap because this is new dollars coming into the space, and it's not one person dumping on another person. And I think that's one of the few use cases of this technology that isn't extractive in a traditional sense.
Yeah, we were just talking about this before the panel that at least in this cycle, it's very separated, right? Like the meme coin has its own place. They're not promising any utility. The true degens, and the crypto savvy people really love it, and you can participate in that. But then there are a separate group of projects that can tackle real world problems. We love meme coin. We support 3,000 meme coin out of the gate on bookit.com. You can spend any of your meme coin that you don't care about, for booking something, a flight, a cruise, or whatever. You can also enter sweepstakes. We have a sweepstakes right now that this is actually a free one. We're giving away, in our pre-launch stage, free gold membership to everyone that registered during the time of this conference. And with that, every registration, you also are automatically entered to win VIP tickets to the Grand Prix, right? But in the future, with any of your meme coin dust, if you don't want, you can convert that to Spree points and enter sweepstakes or use that to bid for really cool experiences. We're making it fun as well, right?
I'm honestly so bullish on the future of crypto commerce. One of the things that I've seen over the last years, you've just mentioned, is that a lot of awareness and attention was driven to meme coins, which hurt a lot of individuals coming back into the space or coming in the space for the first time. And I feel that crypto commerce is a real way to educate individuals on the use case of stable coins and then what they can do for them in their day-to-day lives. And I'll just share a short story. I was recently in South Africa and working with a production crew, and I'm like, do you guys take crypto? We'll pay you in stables. And he's like, no, too volatile. And it's people just don't even realize what is possible on crypto payment rails. So I'm excited because I think commerce is an incredible way to grab the attention of the masses and merchants to come over to crypto. So my last wrap-up question for all of the panelists is, what's the one immediate step or action you recommend to anyone in the room who wants to be part of shaping the future of crypto commerce?
Selfishly, go check out bookit.com. We love feedback from the community, right? We built this tool for crypto industry people that really travel a lot, and points nerds like me that really want to get a lot of rewards, and we want feedback. This is early stages. This is your product. We want the community to give us feedback, and we're giving everybody, again, a Go membership during the conference time. So go register. Just check out bookit.com and let us know what you think.
Yeah, totally. Again, as well, go check out Spree.finance. I would love you guys to use all of our partnered apps like Book It. And we're looking for partners who have their own protocols that they want to give out incentives and they want to leverage the 2 million merchants, the real world commerce, to really give value back to their community. We'd love to chat with you and as well as anyone trying to build the future of commerce as an engineer. Please reach out.
And I'll go really quickly, but I would say for builders, really focus on user experience and try to abstract away all the complexities that we've had over the last few cycles. The end user doesn't care about the technology. They care about it being very simple to use. And if you can do that, it's really easy to get adoption.
Love it. Well, thank you guys so much. Appreciate the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.